Hello, biostatistics students. This is Tom Delaney, your instructor for the Summer 2019 course offering in the MPH program at UVM. Welcome to the course. This is a brief screencast that I'm calling course tutorial. And the idea of the course tutorial is that it just familiarizes you with basic aspects of the course and the Blackboard environment. And these are all things that are just really important for you to be successful in the course. One thing that you might hear me say a few times, especially towards the beginning of the course, is that because so much is packed into really only 28 days of teaching and learning, it's important to stay on pace and stay on track. So some of these tools are really just ways to make sure that you're where you need to be in terms of when assignments are coming in, when you're doing the readings, when tests are happening, discussions, things like that. So anyway, here's a student view of the Blackboard course site. And this is a really important area because it's the announcements. So pretty much every day, not necessarily on the weekends, but definitely during weekdays, you should expect an announcement about the course. And generally these will be important and informative, I hope. And they'll also be sent as emails. So you can read them in your emails, or you can use the email as a trigger, come back and read them on the website. So that's the home area. The syllabus is here as well. It's an updated syllabus that was sent out by email last week as well. The syllabus is really important because it's basically a contract between the instructor and the students. That's how I was taught anyway. It lays out everything that you need to be successful in the course, and it should be clear and detailed enough that pretty much any question you have about, for example, your grades or how grades are determined is clearly laid out there. It should not be unambiguous. So if you go through the syllabus and you see anything that's still questionable, let me know and I'll clarify it for you. Another really important tool is the course calendar. So this is also updated, and it's a Word document that's set up as a big old table. And it just announces for each module, and some of the modules are broken up into multiple days. Other modules, like this first module, which is July 15th, Monday, is just a one-day module. It's a really quick read, and there's no actual problems assigned over here. So you'll get through that one really quickly. But it has the information for when the module occurs, learning objectives, required readings, and then discussion group involvement and practice problems. So this can be a really helpful tool for you. Going back to the Blackboard menu, other things that are pretty key are the course materials. So now this is where the modules are actually displayed. And what you can see is that there's a very first module, like a pre-module, called Getting Started. This has a bunch of things in it, and it has a nice list of things that you can do as you're gearing up in the course and to help you get ready as a little instructor. Welcome essay, the course tutorial, which will be posted once the screencast is done, and then it has next steps and things to check out and things to explore. So that's good to know. And a couple of other things. One is that the discussion board is now live, and what I mean by that is that there's two things that are open to you as students right now. The first is that there's a question and answers forum, and this is a place where you can post questions, or if you figured something out that you want to share with other students, you can post your solutions here. Myself and the teaching assistant will be checking it, and hopefully we'll be able to jump in and provide some solutions as well. So it's pretty much what it's called, just questions and answers. The other thing is that the first discussion assignment, which should be pretty straightforward, pretty easy I hope, is just introducing yourself. And you'll get credit for that. And it's to familiarize yourself not only with other students in the course, but just how to even use the discussion boards in Blackboard in case you haven't used those before. The first assignment is very straightforward. It's what you like to be called, what you hope to do with knowledge and skills from the course, what are things that are going to help other people get an idea of you in real life, and talk a little bit about whether you're a math person or maybe not a math person. So I made the initial post on that. Going back to the Blackboard menu, just one or two other things. The assignments are going to be posted, this assignments folder really is where you're going to go to turn in work. And right now there's actually no work due. The first assignment that you would turn in would be turned in Tuesday night. So prior to Tuesday night, you'll see a spot where it will say Module 2, Day 1 assignment. And then this is that area. And then other things are down here. Throughout the course, I will post biostats resources. So right now, the only resource that's there is information about a histogram, because we'll be making histograms later in the course. And then this will also be where there's like a repository of videos and screencasts. And these will generally be made by the instructor myself or by the TA, and they'll be intended to be helpful. The last thing I'll do is just go back to the course materials, and let's do a quick overview of what the modules actually look like. So here's Module 1. You can see that right now through Module 3, which runs through Thursday of the first week of the course, is available. And let's take a peek in Module 1. The first part of the module just gives you a welcome, a little overview. It tells you what the learning objectives are. This one looks like 3 learning objectives. And then it gives you these little chunks of information. So the learning section, it tells you what you should be doing to learn and to meet the course objectives. And then it also tells you applying. And in this case, it tells you about an introductory post to the discussion board that's due on Tuesday night by 11 o'clock. And then there's a section called Applying where it goes into more detail. So it gives you more details about the discussion assignment. And if it was a module that had problems assigned to it, either from the Sullivan book or from the Excel companion guide, those would be listed here. And then here's a section called Learning Materials. So this has the instructor narrative, which is something I wrote to orient you to the chapter and highlight some key things. It has a link to the Chapter 1 PowerPoint. And then down here, this section is conclusion. And what it does is it just recaps the things that were really important from the module. So it tells us it reminds us what the learning objectives are, and these are pretty straightforward learning objectives, I think. And it also gives you a little preview of the next module. So you'll notice that a lot of the modules are single day, and some of them are split up into, actually most of them are split up into multiple days, and a couple in the middle and later part in the course actually span 3 days. So you will have more time to cover those, and those tend to be the chapters in the Sullivan book that have a lot more stuff going on. So that's it for your course tutorial. I hope this is helpful, and I hope that you have a good time and a good introduction and orientation to Biostats 1 for summer 2019.